If you got a chance to read this week's newsletter, I was writing about Zhuang Zhang practice, standing meditation. And I referred to the person who's credited with coining the phrase or making it famous. And he's a Chinese person whose Chinese name I can't pronounce, but he's also known as Ni Bao, which is a little easier to say. And I read a little bit of his history, and like so many of these famous teachers of Tai Chi and Qigong, he started out as a sickly little kid. He started out from a place of illness and weakness, and then was sent to a master who taught him these techniques. I just thought it was a very nice, compassionate way to look at motivation. So many of us come to these things because of arthritis or knee pain or heart problems or whatever, recovering from surgery or recovering from accidents. It's a good little boost to get us onto a new and very strengthening, enlivening habit. So we learn to sort of embrace ourselves as we are, work with that with real compassion. But acceptance is important, accepting where we're at. So let's start off doing that with standing in the first of the Zhan Zhuang poses called Wu Ji, which you all know very well. This is the most important in some ways because this is where we line ourselves up with gravity in the most precise way. Very delicate, precise, gentle adjustments. The first would be perhaps to feel your feet on the earth and to make sure your knees and hip joints aren't locked. To relax the lower back. So you feel the grounding, the rootedness. And then the other adjustment is to imagine being suspended from the sky. Not from your nose, because that would give you a really stiff neck after a while if you're hanging from your nose or your forehead. You're hanging from the very top of the axis, right there. It's a little bit toward the back of your head. Right? So that's the adjustment that as we do these, whatever standing posture we may do, uh, that's a big adjustment right there to make sure that you have that feeling of being suspended. It's an effortless feeling, right? Shoulders are soft, jaw muscles, everything is soft. Thigh muscles are soft, feet are wide and open and soft. And then we breathe. Usually, as we relax and line up, we want to automatically take a deep, natural breath. Now, there's a small image, a gentle little image that you could use, which is that there's small balloons, perhaps under your arms, so you have a feeling of spaciousness. You might even imagine that you're sitting on a balloon so that you can really relax down. You've got that support underneath you. Stand and imagine that you've got those supportive balloons. And I always notice when I stand in Wuji that my feet are sort of saying, well, where should the weight be? Should it be in the toes? Should it be in the heels? The answer is it's right in the middle. So it kind of travels forward into the front of the foot and the toes, and it travels back into the heels as well. So we won't do this for very long, but this would be one to practice. And I told Janet a really funny story yesterday. One of my students had a son, grown son, who was a very serious Tai Chi practitioner. And he would stand in the backyard and do this standing like a tree, which is this one, right? And she said he'd stand there for a long time, like a half an hour. And she said one day she looked back there and a bird had landed on his head. It was just very comfortably kind of perched on his head. He was so quiet and so still that the bird thought, that looks like a nice place to take a break and look around. Yeah, so if you want to try this standing like a tree, it's also very soft. The arms float up a little, and now you've got supportive balloons to rest your arms on. Breathing, eyes can be closed or with a soft focus. Now, if you're standing, literally standing like a tree, you're feeling your roots down into the earth. You're feeling the length of your trunk growing right up toward the sky. And an image I like, you can imagine that your arms are resting on two branches. If the balloon image doesn't help you, you can think about that one. Maybe because I used to love to climb trees, I still do. It feels, I used to like that feeling of being supported by these branches up in the middle of a tree, connected to the earth. I could feel that connection even as a little kid. You could feel the stability of the roots going down into the earth. And we feel that in our own bodies. Now, as you stand here for a little longer with the knees slightly bent, the body will start speaking to you. It'll start saying, my legs are getting tired. That's all right. You breathe, relax. If you find the muscles will suddenly or slowly, maybe sneakily, they get tight, you just relax them, allow them to soften, return to the breathing. So we do this continual loop of scanning the body, allowing it to relax. The more we relax, the more we sort of soften our boundaries, right? I think I wrote about that in the newsletter. Maybe I did. We soften our boundaries with the energy all around us, and we can absorb it. If your arms get tired, you can always just lower them. So that was about, I don't know how long. We did that for maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes. You could do this practice for 10 seconds if that's all you can. Well, that wouldn't really give you much time, but you could do it for just a minute and relax. Then the next day, you do it for a minute and a half, right? Just to get comfortable with that sensation, which I think you all experienced there for a minute, for a moment. It's really, really beneficial for building chi and strength and good habits of relaxing whatever you're doing. All right, now let's put our hands on our hips, shift to one side, and lift the toes of the other foot. Then back, shift to the other side, and lift the toes of that foot. And I'm turning a little toward the corner, just to the corner. Lifting the toes so you can actually feel a little calf stretch. The standing knee is bent. The only thing, watch out for this one. When you lift the toes, the leg will turn out, bring it back to parallel. So that way you won't twist your knee. It's a little Qigong dance step. Not really. This is a nice way to gently oil up the hip joints, to get the hip joints to work in a very gentle way. There's a little turning out and in, turning out and in. Now, the more you bend your knees, not that you have to bend them more, but the more bent your knees are, the more this will strengthen your legs. That's it. Good balance. Your focus is changing. You can find a rhythm. You don't have to go as slowly as I'm going. You can go more slowly. Breathe. Now let's add that Wuji idea of being suspended from above and being relaxed in all the areas that aren't being asked to work. Right? So that's how we apply the lesson of the standing poses to movement. Now let's do the same thing and just add a knock or a tap. Whoo, and wake up our Jing essence, the original chi, the pilot light of energy in our body, stored in our kidneys, right between the kidneys is the door of life. Da, da, da. Now, honestly, check out. Your knees should be very comfortable. If there's any discomfort, let me know. But it's all about the alignment. The knees shouldn't twist at all. The twisting is happening in the hip, not the knees. And 4, 3, 2. Let's plant the feet now and keep twisting and let the middle of the back and the shoulders relax. And slow it down and melt into water waves. It's a good one to do at the beach. Water waves. Palms face the earth. They face the water. And water always represents peace and tranquility. But as a warm up and as a strengthener, we're shifting the weight. The legs are bent. Now, let's say you wanted to modify this. You're like, yeah, I'm into this relaxing. I could definitely feel that. But I also want to work my legs a little more. So then you could separate the legs wider apart. It's an option. But maintain that sense of peace and flow. Good. Breath. Excellent. You're still suspended from the sky. Now, when you come to the next time you come to the right, stay there and just shift the left foot in. Beautiful. Let's try that again. That's hard. I love that. That is hard. You can't cheat on that one. That's why I love it. All right. So we're doing water waves. I'll go through it real slow. Shift over to the wave comes over to the right. So now your weight is over your right foot. Pause there. Make sure this leg is relatively weightless. It means you're going to load this leg with effort. And then very gracefully that foot floats in. Aha. Yeah, and if it wasn't too graceful, that's okay. That was a challenge. You could practice that one with the feet closer together. And then doo-doo, you'll be very graceful. Good. All right, shake it out. Oh, or shake it in. Yeah, let's shake in some energy. Right. Now, spinal cord breathing. I just like to do a few of these warm-ups before Shibashi. That's just a personal preference of mine. You don't have to do warm-ups before Shibashi. Feet are still relaxed on the earth. Breathing is still, of course, continually free and natural. There is a coordination that I want you to just allow to come to you. The exhale occurs naturally as you curve in and the belly flattens. The inhale expands naturally. Here. One more. Exhale. Inhale. And let your arms float down. Good. Now let's warm up our shoulders a little bit. This is a really excellent one. You bunch the fingers together. May as well give yourself a little acupressure on your lung points while you're at it, because that's where the fingers rest for rooster spreads its wings. Thunking, clicking, crackling noises are fine. I swear you could hear this if you're standing in the room. You'd be able to hear the noises my shoulders are making on some days. I get a lot of questions about that. Those noises are okay as long as they don't hurt. You're literally getting fluid into the joints. Reverse, so the elbows go back. And of course, you can modify this one. This is one of the few times we get to really bring our elbows back behind our bodies, right? This plane of the body, the elbows go back behind it on this exercise and relax. Right, and I point that out because in Shibashi, quite often we try to avoid bringing the arms behind us. That's one of the nice lessons you get from Shibashi. Yeah, good one. Great one for sports, great one for just general. Well, feel how it feels having done that. It's quite amazing. Really opens up the heart and the lung area. Okay, so move back to our Wuji. And notice that there's a lot more movement within the stillness now. You could feel more circulation of blood, qi. Maybe you feel just the flow of the lymph. I don't know if you could actually feel that, but you just feel like things are moving. So bend the knees, and you can bend your knees as much or as little as feels right to you for opening the qi. The first movement, qi rises, qi falls. The inhale happens on the rising. The exhale for the movements that go closer to the earth. Inhale and exhale. One more, and the transition to the next movement, inhale, will happen on the exhale. Whoops, I did that wrong. Sorry, it'll happen on, it's the same way. It inhale as you broaden, exhale as you sink. Inhale. This is actually a very easy transition from the first to the second. Exhale. Chi condenses and sinks. Two more. Inhale. Right, so not behind your back. Exhale. Fourth one. Exhale. Now let's transition. Keep the inhale. Exhale. Shifting and opening to the left. Inhale and exhale. Dancing with the rainbow. Inhale, sprinkling rainbow colors right down through that Tai Chi axis. Oh, this looks beautiful, everybody. I always do this one like 6 times because it feels so good. On your own, you could do these exercises as many times as you'd like. The minimum is 6. Let's do it 2 more times. Inhale left. Exhale. Now, this is a long exhale for the next thing because you open, you continue to exhale as you gather, and then you come up and you inhale. Separate the clouds. Exhale. So it's a squat. The hips go back. Inhale. separate the clouds. Exhale, getting grounded. Letting that feeling of grounding connect to the feeling of lightness and openness and space. One more time. Open. Beautiful transition from this one. We simply bring our arms forward. Very simple. For floating silk, where the arm drops, you turn to the left, you inhale. Exhale, you're pressing out excess heat from your heart. That's one reason this might be a good one to do during heat wave. You connect to the cool, balancing energy of nature, and you use it to guide out excess heat, meaning agitation from your heart. Inhale. Exhale. The arm that's circling goes down to the earth, out to nature, up toward the sky, and then when it feels like the most simple and efficient, floats right by your head and guides that extra heat out of your head as well. Let's do this 2 more times. In and out. Last one. In and out. This is another long transition. You keep exhaling and then you inhale for rowing the boat. And this is the one I always think of, a great example of how the arms will not go beyond your body. You squat, your body tilts, your arms kind of stop when they're right in line with the sides of your body. The thumbs rotate out, opening the heart to the sky. It's a very beautiful exercise for postural alignment and for bringing joy, peace, laughter, all the good stuff into the heart. One more time. Exhale, rowing the boat to the center of the calm lake. Inhale. And arms float down. And I like to sort of bend the knees a little more. Let's just rest for a moment. We're going to we're going to balance the ball. So we turn, let's see, I think it's turning to the right first. Lift the heels a little bit. Exhale down. Inhale. The arm floats up and the heels follow. And that's a very subtle lift of the heels. It's more that we rise up and then we root. Uh-oh. Hold on, I turned on my robot. There we go. Floating up. The hand is straight front from the shoulder. You're lifting a ball right in your palm and then down. Beautiful. Nice. That's it. Gorgeous, Karen. That's it, Jan. Right. One more time. And sink. Now we turn and we gaze at the moon. Inhale and exhale. Okay? Now, this is the interesting one where the legs slowly reach straight as the arms slowly stretch up to a back diagonal. Exhale. Feet stay flat. Feel a nice long spiral from the earth right up and down. Relax. And turn and gaze. Oh, it's a big full moon up there, getting fuller. It's pretty to look at. Nice thing to do to gather chi. Turn and look at the moon. Now the hands come right into your waist. Okay? Yeah. I'll wait. Good. Now we push the palm, relax the wrist, float the hand in. This is push palm, turn waist. You turn at the waist, the hand pushes straight out from your shoulder, the wrist relaxes, you flip it over, you inhale in, groundedness and clarity. This is pushing worry out, releasing worry, let it go, drawing in peace. I use the word peace, but this is really for the spleen. You're twisting through the center, guiding. Worry is the negative, stagnant energy of the spleen. So you're guiding out worry and replacing it with clarity. Transition's a nice one. We press out. Now relax and we turn the wrist. And that brings us right into cloud hands. And let's linger in cloud hands for a while because this is a perfect exercise for a beautiful hot summer day. Cloud hands. Go into a kind of an unusual space in your own mind, body, spirit, and really feel yourself turning into a cloud, relaxing, softening the boundaries. I do recommend gazing at the clouds. Really gaze, really just notice that how they move. They're wonderful teachers, the clouds, how one form imperceptibly almost evolves into another. And within this, the heart of this movement is our Wuji posture, suspended from above, lower back and shoulders, jaw relaxed, feet grounded, legs grounded through the feet. Yeah. Now let's stay here for a little while longer. Yeah, one breathing pattern you could practice is to inhale to the left and exhale to the right. And that really does, this is a fairly challenging thing to allow the movement and the breath to be very effortlessly coordinated. It's fun. And if that doesn't feel relaxing and fun, just breathe naturally. But notice how it changes. And this time, let's open the arms. Let's shift into the, let's see, right foot. And we're going to step forward rather than diagonal. Step straight forward to scoop the C. We'll do it 3 times on the right, 3 times on the left. Look at the sky, arms open, feet stay flat. Shift forward, scoop the C. Look at the sky. Third time. Exhale as you go down. Inhale as you come up. Now bring your hands to your shoulders, and we're going to be waves floating out to sea and coming back onto the shore. This time the front toes lift, like we did at the beginning of class. 3 of these. Inhale. Let's do 4 of these. Exhale. And inhale. This one turns into the flying dove. So from the front, we pause, the palms turn toward each other, and our wings come in, and we're a flying dove floating forward. I'll show you on the diagonal. You shift forward, but there's no forward lean. You're just on the front leg. Then you shift back, and there's a little bit of an inclination, very subtle. So the gaze is on the horizon here, and the gaze is above the horizon. So it's a real core strengthener. One more time to play with that. Vertical. That's it. Good. And up. Now let's just come back to face front, and we'll do that series starting with the right leg. Okay, so the first one was scoop the sea. So back up. You step forward, scoop the sea. Look at the sky. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale always falls to the earth. Inhale lifts us up. From scooping the sea, we become the wave. We undulate down to the seafloor, then back, toes lift. Exhale, release. Cool. Yeah, let me show you sideways for this one. This one, it's really a feeling of flowing and curving, but the body just gets carried. The body's like the mast on a boat. I don't know if that's a good image, but the body stays upright and the waves flow underneath. From flying dove, from pushing the waves, we go to flying dove, where we open a little bit above the horizon. Exhale, flapping our wings forward. Inhale. Oh, this ocean imagery, it should be a flying seagull. Ooh. No, it should be what are they called? Osprey, with those big wings. Spreading your wings. One more time. Flying. Tiny bit of a tilt to focus at the sky. Now bring your hands back into the sides of your waist. Bend the knees. We press straight forward. Turn the hand, pull in. Exhale. Turn. Inhale. We bounce off all that floaty, flowy, wavy stuff with direct clarity. This is about skillful. I hate to use the word anger, but that's one of the ways it's described. Skillful anger. It's under control. Using it skillfully. It's not getting you all bent out of shape. It's enough of that one. We shift our feet together. Now, I'll show you the big version for a flying goose. All the way up, all the way down. You don't have to go all the way down. You could do it the way I've also learned it, which is you just bend the knees a little. But this is to lift the energy. It's one that clears depression. And it's very nice. These curvy lines we make with our arms are really nice. They're great for our nervous system. Ah, one more up. Shift to one side, step the feet apart, shift to one side, and we're going to turn the water wheel all the way around. And then we change the direction. Shift, the arms and the weight all go to the same side. And it's not true. I'm sorry, I described that wrong. We're making a circle. You shift the weight, circle away, all the way over. And it's like you follow through. Now you shift the arms the other way. It is right here. The weight is on your, let's see, your left, and you're reaching to the right, but the circle follows there. Then you go the other way. That shifts the weight into the right. Now, you don't have to be going all the way over like this. A very good modification is to just bend the knees like this. If your back is feeling a little like it needs a little bit more warming up. This is for that pilot light battery, the kidneys. Good. Oh my God, you guys look great. One more. Windmill. And come center. Whew. Getting warm, right? Windmill is followed by, what's this one called? Bouncing ball. We lifted the ball earlier. Now we're bouncing it. Up. Good. Down. When you lift the wrist and the knee, whip, you can also lift the heel. That's the bouncy part, the heel of the standing foot. And I like to do this for a while because it takes a long time to relax and get the alignment so precise and Wuji-like that you feel pretty like calm, energized, but calm. Whee! See, two more. This is the last one before energy rises, energy sinks. This is the big expression of that movement. And at this point, our hearts are beating, right? Our cardio system is pretty strong here. So this is sort of the cool down. So as you feel your body and your heart rate cooling down, this is not the way Dr. Lin taught it, but it's the way I like to do it and teach it is a cool down. You let the movement get smaller at its own speed. Breathing, inhale, because the palms are coming up, the gesture's up. Exhale, because the gesture's down toward the earth. And do this as many times as you need until you feel the waters becoming still. Still, but not still. Peaceful. The waves are receding. Water's nice and clear. Breath is slow. We're integrating yin and yang, bringing the coolness of the water to the fire of the heart, the warmth of the heart down to heat up that water. And one more time. Exhale. And finish by just gathering all that qi into your lower dantian. Just like we do in a class. Stand quietly for a moment. Tuning in to the sensations of energy that you're feeling, noticing. Again, it's kind of a middle ground, a place of curiosity. There's no right or wrong. It's like, what am I feeling? What am I discovering as I continue to play and explore the parameters of my energy, and the energy of the world, the universe, and nature? It can be quite profound. And relax, relax. Oh, so nice. Any questions? Little disclaimer, I don't teach the transitions perfectly, but I do teach them. So when you're doing this on your own, for instance, separating, let's see, is this the one? Expanding the chest. This is inhale. This is exhale. The transition is inhale. That's an unusual one. And exhale. But as long as you've got the idea, we inhale, we exhale, to coordinate it, to bring them together, you're fine. You'll be doing the right thing. The other thing is just to point out, sometimes traditionally, Shibashi is only taught on that one side. When we start to get into the asymmetrical stuff, scoop the sea, look at the sky, traditionally goes right into this, and they never do the other side. But I think it's nice to do the other side, and it's an option. Sometimes we do it facing the diagonal. I mostly do that to teach because I don't want you to get too far away from your idea of that groundedness. So I'll face diagonally. But in case you're wondering, like, why can't I learn this? Why don't I have this memorized? It's partly my responsibility that I teach it different ways all the time. But the principles are always the same, and that's what matters in Qigong. And you all are demonstrating that you understand the principles really well because you look great. It's fabulous. Any questions? Want to get a sip of water? Maybe, if you haven't done that yet. I'll show you. Here's some qi. My neighbor surprised me with 32 pink petunia wave plants, which I had to plant the other. Aren't they pretty? That's good summer energy. Okay, no questions. Let's keep going. Let's do something a little more stretchy, because with all that warmth, we're nice and stretchy now. So, or at least able to be more flexible. So let's do our full body flow. This is a little series I've been teaching. In horse stance, if you'd like, you could also keep the feet a lot closer together. Crossing the webbing of the hands. The first part is to just stretch up, but the upwardness comes from the earth. You're drawing the energy up. You're really consolidating it by tightening your butt and your hamstring muscles, stretching straight up. Then that pelvis continues to push forward from beneath the glutes. That will protect your back. That's the inhale, stretching the front of the body. The exhale, hips hinge back. Arms can either stay forward with the hands clasped, or I'll show you the variation. This is the same for everybody. And again, I can't emphasize this enough. You tighten right under your glutes and your glutes, lifting out of your lower back as you push forward. And if the back feels a little uncomfortable going forward, you support it. Support it as you hinge and relax. Okay, so let's keep going. Inhale, opening the front of the body. Exhale, strengthening the back of the body. Relaxing at the bottom. Inhale. It's another one. Feel free to go slower. Exhale. Relax your neck and shoulders at the bottom. Let's pause here for a moment. Oh, let your body just melt down, pour right into the earth, and then whoop, reconstitutes. Comes straight back up. At this point, we're going to move to the next phase where we rotate at the waist and look straight to the corner. Both knees slightly bend. We hang over the right leg and we stay there and use your back hand to massage. Guide the meridian to relax in the back of the leg, the bladder meridian. Breathe. You could also, if it feels more useful, you could tap on those muscles to get vibration and flow. They go over to your left leg. Both knees are slightly bent. Tapping, massaging. You're teaching those muscles how to relax even though they're being stretched. That'll help them stretch more safely and thoroughly. Now you're over your left leg. You push that left foot down, and that gives you the energy to come up to that corner. Inhale, facing the corner. Modification, hands on the thigh as you go forward over that leg. Otherwise, just stretch your arms out. Now this time we keep going. We go right over to the right leg. This is the full expression. You push the foot down, the arms reach forward and up. Good. The modification, the hips go back, the knees are bent, hands on your thigh to guide you into that stretch. And I like to just breathe kind of comfortably and slowly. Push the foot down. Oh, and that's a gorgeous part of this. When you push the foot against the earth, you really feel the hamstring muscles working. Open. Exhale. Push that foot into the earth. That'll activate the back of the leg. And center. Stay there. Massage perhaps from the kidneys down both legs. But let's not be upside down too long. Hands on the thighs. Come on up. Ah, good. Ah, rotate the arms out. Inhale. Exhale, drawing down the heavens. Oh my gosh. Didn't realize what time it was. That's okay. We got time. We got time. We got all the time we need. Whee. We got time to be monkeys looking at our reflection in the water. So let's do that beautiful flow. Now I'm going to check my notes from the teacher who taught me this, said some wonderful things about it. When we're doing this first gesture, legs at, as wide apart as feels good, this represents the lens of your mind, creating a true reflection. What does that mean? What's the true reflection of your inner nature? That's what this represents, a clear, no prejudices, no preconceptions, a clear reflection of your true inner light, your true inner nature. The monkey gazes at its reflection. Now, the next time the monkey's over its right foot, you're going to just step to the left foot, bring the right foot next to the left, and the arm curves under and rests next to your head. Now, this represents shining that clear reflection, your palm, like a light, shining that clear reflection of who you really are out into the world. Right? So that transition again is, I'll show you that again. We've been flowing, kind of polishing the mirror of the water of life so we could see our true reflection. We'll do the same side. You're going to bring your right foot in and am I saying this correct? Yeah, your right arm across. That's it. Then step out again, and monkey sees its reflection. Now, when I taught this on Tuesday, I was doing it way down like this. You can if you want, but you don't have to be. It's just more this hands toward the earth, designating that water flows down. It flows, it clarifies, it nourishes. Clear reflection of your inner self. Now, this time, bring your left foot across to the touch next to your right. The left arm curves under and you look. Then again, reach the foot out and flow. Let's do 2, 3, 4. Sorry, we do the other side. So we'll do 4 and then come to the right. Both knees are bent. And there's a little pause. Right. Okay, so we'll flow for 4. 1. Just breathing naturally. 2. 3. Soft arms and joints. Flow 4. Shift and pause. How does your inner light respond and react and combine with the environment around you? And then again, open the foot and we flow. 1, 2, 3. Soft. Again, clear lens of the mind. Pull in and pause. Good. Flow. 1. Is your back nice and relaxed? Shoulders. 3, 4. And it's a flow that turns into a little pause, looking away from the hand. Good. 2 more times to enjoy this lesson. When we calm down, things clarify, our true nature comes out. And look. Good, that's it. Yeah, you're looking away from the mirror. And here you're looking in the mirror. Ooh, that's my true self. Looking with compassion, acceptance. 4. And then shine that reflection out. Say, here I am. This is me. I'm a nice, compassionate monkey. And relax, center. Good. Gather up all this fabulous energy, this young, growing, blossoming energy of summer. And let it inhale, let it nourish and bring clarity to your mind, right? Clarity is a great concept. We just played with that. peace and joy, laughter, gratitude, compassion to your heart, and vitality, healing, and strength to your Jing essence, your body. Bring it in. Relax. Hands over your lower dantian. Shift. Now imagine maybe you have a favorite plant in your garden that's really well watered and healthy and blossoming. Be that plant, right? I'm picturing Butterfly asclepias, bright orange, right? With its roots. They've got long tap roots. We have long energetic roots. Flexible stem growing up toward the sun. You could be a plant gently tossed by a gentle summer breeze. Always rooted. You always have those yin roots to support the yang blossoming. Take a moment, for all the focus and concentration. Know that that was work that our central nervous system was doing and is incorporating in our muscles, the nerves, muscles, tendons, all the interesting transmitters and connectors in the body. They're all doing that mysterious chi-ful process of forming these new movement memories for us so we learn. And open your eyes, rub your hands together. So you're bringing, that good chi into the palms of your hands, and then you can wash that chi into your face and eyes and your brain. And then we thank each other. I thank you very much for practicing with me. That was beautiful work. Really nice to practice with you. Step back. Let's thank Ni Bao and Dr. Lin and all the other teachers who came up with this incredible practice. And give yourself a bow. Again, this very powerful concept of acceptance and unconditional love. Breathe it in. It's the way we evolve. When we get that, we've got it to offer. Okay, thanks everybody. Oh, that was wonderful. Let me stop. I really enjoyed that. I always do. Let me stop the recording.